Hey, so today we're going to be looking at more campfire stories from mikeburnfire. As always, the links to the original video and channel are going to be down in the description below, so go ahead and make sure that you check them out. Now, if this is your first time checking out the channel, a little background on myself. I was a corporal in the United States Marine Corps, where I served as an 0311, going on 2 deployments. First one mainly stayed in Kuwait, a second one going back to Kuwait, also spending some time in Syria, and then even going on a 4-day mission, which is pretty cool. So as far as coins, I'm assuming he means, somebody mentioned in a comment too, there's challenge coins. I had a coin that I got when I was in Kuwait, when I was a part of the Sec 4 over there, but I don't remember what the purpose behind it was. I guess I could say a little, hey, good job, type deal. As far as Blue Falcons go, think of them of like goody two shoes snitches, right? That'll rat you out. No, you don't want to be a Blue Falcon, right? And I didn't even know what this was until I got to until my late SOY. I had heard the term in boot camp, heard it a little bit in the beginning of SOY, but I never really understood what it was supposed to be. All I knew was that it was a negative thing. And also, I just wanted to point out, if you saw the Bradley video a day or so ago, I saw the first top comment. Someone said that I thought was pretty interesting, and this is a little bit off topic, but if they were making another Fallout game, and it's also in the Mojave Desert, that they want 2 characters, specifically these guys, voicing those characters, just telling some of these stories. I burped a little there. Telling some of these stories from like how they do here. I feel like that would be a pretty cool Easter egg. But in any case, before we get into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe. It really does help me a lot. Hit that notification button so you get notified every time I do upload. Without wasting too much more time, let's go ahead, get right into the video.
Are you familiar with the concept of coins for the military?
Oh, challenge coins.
Yeah, challenge coins.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the concept of those?
I never went to the bars, so I never challenged or got challenged.
No, but
They're commemorative.
they're commemorative, and sometimes people will get them for different things. Like, someone in our unit got one for helping get a Humvee repaired faster.
Did you ever use them for any purpose? Because there are some Marines who would get a challenge coin and go, oh boy, and the boot.
Who? Okay, I never heard of one Marine that did that. It would be very, I guess, cringy, as the kids say, right? But they really hold no purpose, right? And sometimes they're given for really dumb reasons, or or sometimes it's just, hey, you did your job, congrats. I mean, that's kind of what happened to me. I don't even know what happened to mine. I think I threw it away. I mean, it was given to me by the Air Force, because it was their base, and I was part of the Sec 4 that was there, and then stand post, essentially. Or it'd be like kind of a road guard, check people's IDs type thing.
Would go into a bar and see another Marine, slap down his challenge coin, I challenge you! And the other Marine would say, no. Get out of here, boot. Stop being stupid.
Yeah, only like super motivated people in the army do that.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing. It's, Private, what the fuck are you doing?
Here's a new challenge. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so I guess you would get the coin and then you would use it to challenge people in bars. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that. I don't even think somebody would want to do that because it sounds dumb.
Here's your challenge. Go away. Drink this jug of antifreeze. Eat these Tide Pods! I only got 2 coins the entire time I was in the military. One I got from being in everybody in our unit got them. Mm-hmm. It was just the 10th Mountain Division coin. The other one I got, I'm very pleased with myself for. At Fort Polk, there is a unit that is the 509th Airborne Division. And 509th Airborne Division is known because they are Op 4, which is opposing force. They are the bad guys in Fort Polk.
I'll tell you right now. Oh, Fort Polk. Okay, let me tell you right now. Op 4, when you had to role play, sometimes, no, you know what? Pretty much any time you were Op 4, it was so much more fun. Because one, you weren't necessarily you could do more of a lone wolf type thing, right? Because they're trying to make it seem like you're actually going against bad guys, right? And, these Op 4 guys, sometimes they would also be people who were like fapped out to being out there and just doing that until their contract ends up, right? So they're actually like, when we would go to mountain towns, they would like be jumping off of buildings, right? And they're shooting, and it actually feels pretty cool and intense when you do it. I remember some. I mean, there's people who post it online as well on YouTube or Facebook, somewhere there, where they have a recording, and then guys are clearing up going up the stairs, and then they get shot, and they're like very dramatic about them getting shot. And they're like, ah, and they're going crazy. If you ever have the chance to be an Op 4, it's very fun.
The badass guy?
No, they're the bad guys. They pretend to be the enemy at Fort Polk.
Oh, they
So if you
pretend.
go to Fort Polk and you're in the Joint Readiness Training Center, JRTC, in the middle of the woods, shooting at a bunch of guys wearing weird olive green uniforms, that is 509th Infantry Battalion. They're
Nothing against anybody who was in JROTC or ROTC. I guess the difference was like the age thing, whatever. From what I understood, I only knew one person that was in it and actually went into the military. From what I understood, though, a big chunk of them never go in because they get really that early on experience. Like, I don't want to do this. This sucks, and then having to do that for 4 years under contract. So I think our JROTC, which is supposed to, I guess, help you for military life, it has the opposite effect. So I guess in a good way it is, positive.
airborne qualified.
Also, I'm sorry, but you need to hear this. Just because you are a JROTC, you are not in the military. I said what I said. If you disagree with me, feel free to let me know down in the comments. But unless you sign a contract saying that you are in and take the oath and everything, and you actually go, let me say for the Marine Corps, for example, right? And you go to actual boot camp, unless you do that, I'm not talking about a little week course thing, all 3 months, and then go to SOI or MCT, wherever you go at, and then you get stationed, then you are not in the military.
They live and breathe to just piss off the rest of the military, and I absolutely love them.
They make your life difficult. Why do you like that?
Because they made life difficult for everybody else, not me. Most of the time, the rifles that the M4s or M16s that they have, they rarely actually shoot live ammo through them. Most of the time, they just fire blanks through them. Because that's most of what they're doing, is just pissing off the rest of the army and making battalion commanders rip out their hair and go, "Oh, those bastards!" Because they could just be absolutely infuriating. They have whole trench and tunnel systems dug all over the place in JRTC that they'll just pop up out of nowhere. I was at work one day, and one of the guys from 509th came.
Wait, JRTC? I thought I said JROTC. I think I just completely thought of the wrong thing. Well, in any case, that's JROTC, if you didn't know what that was. Okay, see, now I sound like an idiot. See, but the thing about blanks, and I don't know if this is, because you see in, like, movies, right, obviously shooting blanks, no, not talking about a certain celebrity recently that had a miss, whatever. But in any case, when we're shooting blanks, we have this BFA, which is essentially, I don't even know what it stands for, but you put it and you twist it onto your barrel, and essentially, I don't know what that does, but it allows you to shoot blanks, something like that. So it looks very corny, cheesy, and it doesn't look cool, I guess. But essentially, that's how you shoot it. And from what I heard, is that blanks actually produce more carbon. I don't know if that's true. I mean, it's definitely felt like it was a little dirtier when you would have to clean them, but pretty fun. But obviously, if you're in a situation where you're close to someone, because like in SOI, right, you do squads versus squads and all that, you're not allowed to actually fire, and for the most part, you just got to go bang, 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 or press, press, press.
Came in. Apparently, they did not have a battalion armor for 509, and he's like, "I have got 500 M4s that I need to get gauged. They have not done weapon gauging on them in a long time, and we actually have a range that we're supposed to be going to coming up, and I need these to get gauged."
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it'll be a pain in the ass, but I mean, I can do it. Sure. So he brought all of his MC.
Now, when he says about gauge, I mean, obviously, I'm no expert in being. He's a repairman. I'm not. Essentially, is he talking about? Damn it, what was that thing called? zeroing your rifle essentially, right? Ensuring that the way the RCO, for example, right, is in line, or like you're going to be accurate with your shots, right? Like it is actually zeroed in. And I think, was it the LBS or laser bore sight? Oh, I remember that. That one, if I remember, it was for your laser, for your PEC 16 or PEC 15. And yeah, that was just to ensure, because, they're not on, they're like the PEC 16, right? For example, depending on if you had it on the side or on top, it isn't directly in line with it. So you had to adjust it. And you would use these little tools like the laser bore sight to zero it. You could zero it, but you needed a special type of paper. And you had to be a certain distance, and you would be in the prone, and you might have like a little backpack. I don't remember the exact process, but it was annoying to try to do, right? Essentially making sure that the rifle can shoot accurately.
He brought like 3 or 4 shopping carts. I don't know where he got shopping carts from. Brought like 3 or 4 shopping carts down that were just filled with M4s. Some of them were kind of dirty, but it was, it wasn't a big deal. It didn't take me that long to gauge an M4.
So you knocked them out pretty quickly.
So yeah, I knocked it out pretty quickly. It took me like a couple hours, but I got them all done, wrote them all up on paperwork. Like, weapon gauging was done at this point. Such and such ones were found out of spec. Replaced the parts that were found out of spec. Yada yada yada. Thanks, you helped me out so much. This is great. I needed to get this done, and I didn't have any way to do it. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, man. Whatever. So I helped him out, and it's like I could have told him to pound sand, and it wouldn't have mattered. He's not affiliated with my unit. He's not affiliated with a unit that I'm supporting in any way.
You didn't have to help him, but
No.
you felt an obligation because you're a human being.
Well, and he asked nicely.
Oh, there you go.
He was like, "Thanks, man. Next time you're out at JRTC, we'll make sure that you don't. We'll try not to shoot at you." And I said, "Oh no, don't do that. You got to shoot at me so that I can go to the Burger King that's right down the road from the medical station."
Okay, well, first, I was totally wrong about the JRTC, unless that is what it is. I don't know why I'm drawing such a blank right now. Please clarify that for me in the comments. Is he talking about the guys who are coming into the military and whatnot? But whatever. The part about him wanting to get shot, right, or to be counted as a casualty here. So when I forgot what mission it was supposed to be or something, but it was like in training, right? We drove from 29 Palms to Camp Pendleton to get airlifted back to 29 Palms in a base, or not base, but into a mountain town. All right, range 220, that big one. And then in the beginning, we were taking mortar fire. And apparently, I'm in a group of guys, right? We're trying to get all our stuff in the vehicles. We're trying to do it quick because we're taking mortar fire notionally. And then one of the PSOs, one of the guys who was running the range says, "Hey, you're hit, you're down." And I go, "Are you serious?" Like, I'm down mysteriously with an indirect fire weapon, right? Yes. Right. Yeah. IDF, right? God, if I'm wrong, I'm again stupid. But I'm the only one that's down. And they use, "Yeah, you're down. Get on the ground." Like, you took a lot of shrapnel to legs. I'm like, "Okay, I'm down." And I'm saying, "Hey, I'm down. And then I'm trying to explain the injuries, but they're like, no, you can't talk." And I was like, I think I ought to be able to talk, right? In that situation. And then I'm getting told by a squad leader, "Martinez, get the hell up. What are you doing?" Well, apparently, I've got shrapnel in my legs. And he says, "Doesn't matter. Just get in the truck so that we could just go." And then, so I get up. Guy says, "Hey, what did I say?" I said, "You're down." And I sit down. I'm not lying when I say I literally just put my hands like this and it just went. All right. And then the dude says, eventually the squad leader says, "Martinez," and the other guy says, the guy running the race says, "Hey, I told you he's down. You guys have to get him in." And then because of that, he said, "All right, 2 more of your guys are getting hit now, somehow." And then we get in the summertime. We go to where we're going to be. I don't know. We went from the area that was supposed to be a stadium, and then we went to these other buildings, and they were telling us, I was hearing, "Hey, they guys want to make this feel as real as possible. So what we're going to do, what they were planning to do is lifting me and the 2 other casualties, right? And they were going to send us back to Camp Pendleton, right? In Ospreys." And I was thinking, this is sweet. because one platoon ended up staying back there and never went out, and they really didn't have to do anything the whole time. So I was like, dude, this would be money. But then all of a sudden, they're like, hey, no, we're just going to keep them here, and they're going to be notionally flown back, and then we're just going to have them chill in the corner of the mountain town, and they're just not going to be a part of it, the exercise anymore, because technically they're considered like that we got evac, right? So as soon as that happens, next 2 or 3 days, we are chilling. Me and these 2 other guys, no fire watch. We're just chilling, doing nothing, eating, talking to some of the other guys who are playing Op 4, right? And then all of a sudden, they say, hey, you guys are back. You guys are over here. So apparently, they got freaking Jesus out here, resurrected people, right? Back from the grave, even though technically we weren't supposed to be dead. So we come back, and then people just go, oh, it must have been nice, right? They're like, yes, it was very nice getting shrapnel in my leg. Thank you very much. I went off on a big rant there. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, being a casualty. If you're ever in exercise and you become a casualty at the beginning, trust me, think of it like a good thing. If it's in a training environment, obviously not if it's in real life, it's going to be a whole lot more horrible.
So, next day I'm at work. The lieutenant colonel for 509th Infantry Battalion came down to my shop and gave me the 509th Infantry coin.
Nice!
As a way of thanking me on behalf of the 509th Infantry Battalion. I present you with this coin. He gave me the coin, and so then I jokingly told people that I got the 509th Infantry coin for aiding and abetting the enemy. I got a coin from 509th, something that very, very few people outside of 509th are going to get one of those coins for. Mm-hmm. I was very pleased with that one.
It's surprising how certain ribbons hold different levels of value to the soldier or Marine.
Wasn't it Napoleon Bonaparte said men will fight and die for a little piece of colored ribbon?
You and I both got the National Defense Ribbon. We don't care. You pretty much get that for signing up.
You get it for graduating basic training.
You got your Iraq Service Medal, which I guess holds a little bit more value.
Whatever, it doesn't really matter. It shows that I was in Iraq.
I got a good behavior ribbon, so I spent 3 or 4 years without getting any.
Your good cookie. Participation award. And also, I just got curious, so I started to look at my phone as far as which ribbons I got. And they still had me as a Lance Corporal when I took this picture. I had the National Defense Service Medal, the Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, 2 of those, Inherent Resolve Campaign Medal, Joint Meritorious Unit Award. I don't even know how the hell I got that. The Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, good cookie, if I remember that right. Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal. I'll try to post a picture up here so that way you guys can actually see it. I took a screenshot of it on my, was it MOL? I think that's what it was. I'm going to block out the EDIPI and the Press RUC. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, they still got me as a Lance Corporal in here. Anyway, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I had 7. It's not bad.
A drunken brawl or punching my commanding officer.
Yep.
I think the award that means the most to me is the Expert Marksman Award that I received in boot camp. Mm-hmm. Because I
have a confession to make. Boot camp was the only time I shot sharpshooter because I missed Expert by 2 points. But let me explain before you say anything. First of all, I was a part of Golf Company, right? 2154. And I heard it was called the God's Company because at one point, everybody shot Expert, right? And obviously, they always say that, hey, the new ones coming in are never going to be like as good as the older guys who were in there before. But let me tell you why. It was the first time I held a gun, first time I shot. So I was pretty nervous, right? I was always worried about flagging the line. I was worried about anything and everything that might get me into trouble, right? And my God, damn, motorcycles all day. As far as my guy who was supposed to be my teacher, right? This guy was a douche. Not only did he accuse me of flagging the line when I said I did not, this guy, because we had these little tapes right here with our names on them at that point in boot camp, right? Because it was like in the second month. We were in Camp Pendleton. He took mine and gave it to my drill instructor. And first of all, to one of the guys who was also there with me that was also a recruit, who said, hey, I'm pretty sure I saw you, or I saw the other guy beside you do it. I'm assuming the Marine guy just got mixed up about it. And now I'm thinking, why didn't you tell him? Why didn't you say anything, right? Because he's not going to believe me. And I got my name written in a book. And when I went to go, we went back to the squad bay, and then my drone instructor goes, Martinez, do you mind explaining like why the F this happened? And then I go, yes, sir. This recruit was told by the Marine that this recruit flagged the line. This recruit did not flag the line. When this recruit tried to explain this to the Marine simply said, he did not care, sir. And then he just kind of gave me my name tape back. I was like, okay. Not name tape, but like the little piece of thing right here that has our name on it, before you actually get your tapes. But yeah, I shot sharpshooter. But every day after that, or every other time after that, I got expert pretty easily. And God, the funny things that would happen at the range, not only in the pits, pit love and all that, but also when you would be shooting and you would like try to mess up your buddy. And like, okay, I had two guys. I had two buddies that were to my side one time when we were doing the range. Now, we were doing the one where we were standing, right? So first you're sitting down on the ammo can, and then when you stand up, you take the shot. Obviously, a lot harder to shoot standing. Now, two of my buddies, one of them with a harder Mexican accent, is about to shoot. They both stand up. My buddy shoots. The other guy sits down to wait for his target then to come back up to see where he shot. The other guy is still aiming me, and my buddy looks at him and in Spanish goes, "Ya, wait, no seas mamón." Then this dude shoots, and he goes, "Bro, what the F?" Some funny moments. But they have been getting pretty strict at the rifle range as far as like what you can and can't do. Like you can't bring your phone anymore at all. If they see it, you're going to get dropped. And you go there at the ridiculous times in the morning, man. You're there when it's still dark in the morning. And you're not going to shoot until 2 or 3 hours later. Or sometimes if it's really cold and you're trying to aim and you're like, you're shivering, right, and trying to aim. I can only imagine how it is on the East Coast, right, because I hear that it rains a lot. But, yeah, I was a sharpshooter for a while. And I made fun of when I was in the fleet because I think everybody else was, like, expert. It's like, I swear it wasn't my fault. My damn teacher, mentor, shooting coach, messed with my head. But then again, it was my first time shooting a gun.
I was in basic training for 3 months in California, and it only rained one day while I was there, on rifle qualification day.
Ah, perfect.
So I'm trying to aim at this target 500 yards down the range while I'm being pelted in the face by this ice-cold rain, and I hit expert marksman. I hit my shots that day. The thing that stood out to me was that the range officer handed me an expert marksmanship medal that he had on him. I didn't have to buy mine like everybody else. He just randomly gave it to me for doing
That's
this.
really cool.
Yeah. It's one of my... I don't have very many fond memories of boot camp, but that one stands out to me.
For the most part, it's not hard to even pass, really. At the very least, people in the pits, if you're shooting horribly, they're going to help you out. But come qual day, honestly, you really shouldn't help them out at all when you're doing the pre-qual because those points aren't going to count. You should do that to actually try to get them good and let them know, like, hey, your shots are not on target whatsoever. Did you even BZO your rifle? Did you zero it in? Not any and all that. Especially, I understand some of them admin people and wouldn't necessarily have to do that, but specifically for your 03 guys, you better be a good shot, right? At minimum, expert. Because experts, sharpshooter, and then marksman.
While I was in basic training, we came back from one of the ranges, one of the longer ones. Spent 4 days out in the field. We'd done a bunch of shooting with our M16s, stuff like that. I sat down on the floor, and I took my M16 apart, and I started cleaning it. And I was like, it's got to be clean. I'm going to have to turn it in eventually, so I'm going to clean it, because I just fired a bunch of rounds through it and a bunch of blanks through it.
You were preemptively cleaning it because you knew you'd have to turn it in.
Also, we had come back. The drill sergeant had said, okay, well, get your stuff cleaned up, get your stuff taken care of, get laundry ready to go out, do whatever. Do stuff. Be productive. So I'm sitting on the floor cleaning my M16. I suddenly realized that I couldn't hear anything. And I looked up, and I realized that it wasn't because my hearing had gone away. It was because everybody had fallen asleep. And I'm kind of struggling to stay awake, but it's like I'm busying myself with cleaning my M16, and also, it's a burst fire gun, so of course I'm excited about any time I get to do anything with it. I had never handled an AR-15 before I went into the military, or an M16, so I was just excited anytime I got to do anything with this gun.
Your excitement for having an assault.
I think I only ever shot burst like 2 or 3 times, mainly because it's, I don't know, for me it was hard to control, right? And it was only when I was trying to just expend the rounds, so I wouldn't have to return them back in. But yeah, and then sometimes you really don't want to run out of rounds otherwise, because sometimes, you know, if you run out of rounds even during training, for the most part they'll probably just say, hey, just go bang bang to pretend like you still have rounds, because technically you're going to be going out with the full loadout. But sometimes they'll say, hey, no, this is all the rounds you got. If you don't have any more, then you can no longer actually use that gun, unless someone else passes you a mag, right?
Assault weapon in your hands was fighting your exhaustion.
Yeah. So I was diligently cleaning this thing, and I realized everybody's asleep. Right as I realize this, I look up, and one of the drill sergeants walks into the bay. And the moment a drill sergeant walks into the bay, the first person to see them is supposed to jump up, stand at parade rest, and yell,
"Attention on deck!" Oh my god. I was so glad I never did this. And, you know. Oh my god, dude. I think the dude who was closest to the door, obviously because he's in to see them first, right? His rack is right next to it. Our guy had to do it at least 20 times in one setting because he kept on messing it up. And everybody else is just standing there, right? Waiting for it. And we had some guys, this was during our senior drill instructor square wait time, where some guys are getting out of the shower and they're literally just waiting there because this dude has to call it right. Even I don't even remember how to call it right. I think it was, so long as there was like an officer, there was like a higher rank. I don't know, like say if it was like a lieutenant colonel for some reason that walked in. I don't remember the exact specifics, but I just never wanted to be that guy.
at ease, and then everybody has to jump and stand on the line. I'm about.
Interesting. That's a lot different. We say attention on deck, and then after they finish doing the reporting thing, and they say good morning, sir, or good afternoon, sir, and then the guy more likely than not is gonna say, all right, at ease, and then we just chill from there.
Out to jump up, and he looks at me and points. It says really quietly, "Don't you say another fucking word."
Yeah.
And I immediately shit my pants because I am terrified now. And I just nod. He gives me the thumbs up, writes down my name on a piece of paper, and for a second I'm like, I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
All right, so this is one of those things where you think that you'll get in trouble, or like someone else is going to get in trouble. Like for example, we had we needed some guys to clean the hallways, right? When I was in the fleet, I know this isn't in boot camp, but it's an example where the duty comes in and says, "Hey, why isn't nobody cleaning the hallways?" And then he tells us all to get out of our rooms, right? Like the new guys, the boots. We all come out, points at me and says, "Hey, I see you cleaning out these hallways multiple times. Pick 2 people who you think can actually also do the job." And so I'm thinking like, damn, I'm going to have to throw 2 guys under the bus. So I picked 2 buddies of mine that I think wouldn't be pissed at me that we would have to do it. And so I choose them. And it says, and now I'm kind of giving the look like, I'm sorry for this, guys. You know, I had to pick someone. And then immediately goes, all right, you 3, go back to your rooms. Rest of you, clean these hallways. It seems like that's the same type of scenario that's going to happen here. Because when it comes to, gun, gear, body. Everybody went to take care of their body first before they took care of their weapon, which is the first thing that you take care of.
He goes around, he writes down the names of like 6 or 7 other people that are still awake, cleaning their guns or doing something. Does the same thing to every single one of them. I basically got a out. That was like all I could do. It was make a small squeak. Because I did that, nobody else had heard anything. So every single other person does like the exact same thing. You just hear 6 or 7 just from like different places inside the bay. He walks out, and I just keep cleaning my rifle. I just won't say anything. I know I'm being a Blue Falcon right now, but I don't want to get yelled at by this drill sergeant.
It's too late. He's already seen they're all asleep.
I was going to say, it's too late, bro. I don't think you are. Or maybe you could have just like, hey, you know, bump some people and then get them to bump other people. But at that point, you are screwed already if you were asleep. There's nothing you can do about it. Like the proof is right there that they were.
5 minutes later, the drill sergeant comes in, I look at him, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Get the fuck up." So I jump up and yell, "At ease!" Immediately, everybody else jumps up. They're bonking their heads on the bunks and, like, falling over, and everybody just, like, staggers in the front. And he just goes, "Hazard, Jenkins," lists off this list, like, we're the ones that are in trouble. And he goes, "You guys stay here. Everybody else get the fuck outside and get in the pit."
Oh no, not the pit. They're gonna make you do exercise.
Push-ups, front, back goes, rolling left, right in this pit. I'm just sitting in the barracks room, like, holding the bolt in the sling for my M16 and looking out the window, just going, "I'm sorry."
I wish it didn't have to be this way.
I don't think it's his fault, bro. It's not his fault. You know, I mean, this isn't the... Wait, he's not a snitch. He didn't do anything. And that's what my interpretation of the Blue Falcon was. No. I'd say a prime example of a Blue Falcon would have been when I was in SOI. I'm not sure if I told the story before. But we had a guy who stayed the night. You're not supposed to stay the night, even if it's a weekend, right? Because, you know, you get the weekends off. Sunday, you have to come back a little earlier to get ready for the next day because we're more likely than not going back to the field. Now, so technically you really got Friday, like late Friday, depending on when you get off, and then all of Saturday to kind of chill, do your own thing. But you have to come back to a formation. It could be at, was it 2200? Could have been at, or 2400 sometimes, right? You're going to have to go out there, you're going to have to go to a formation. Now, when we did that, we made sure, because we knew one dude who was one rack to my left was going to spend the night at his girl's house or his parents' house who lived pretty close by. So, a lot of us early knew, and we thought, like, hey, whatever, it'd be no big deal, right? He lives pretty damn close. He can make it back. And then, for some reason, even after we had counted for him that day, because that's all we did, we just counted off outside with everybody. We had the right numbers, went to bed. Come morning, where he was supposed to have been back already, didn't show up. And when we start to do counts, we're thinking, shit, we're going to have to do counts again. But luckily, the combat instructor is only at the front and just waits for all of us to count down, so he's not going to be able to see it because we're kind of more closer to the back. So we're just hoping he does not start walking right towards the center. Otherwise, he's going to notice a spot missing. And when we start counting off, sure enough, he starts walking down the line. And then all of a sudden sees him, asks his rat mate, who's to my left, says, "Hey, where is so-and-so?" He just goes, "I don't know, Sergeant." And then obviously he starts asking me a lot of these questions. And a lot of us knew, and we were just like, God, what do we do? Do we just keep denying? Do we think like, hey, we just want to sleep early? Or, hey, I thought I saw him at formation. And then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dude, is he going to ask us? Like, we're right next to them. I'm just thinking, I'm going to have to, because the dude was a buddy of mine too. And I was just like, I'm not going to write him out. I'm just going to say, hey, I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, right? Because I'll just say, hey, yeah, I fell asleep early. I don't know what was going on. And then one of the guys goes, I think he didn't. I think he stayed out that night. So that is an example of Blue Falcon. Now, guaranteed, the guy would have gotten in trouble regardless, right? But because of that, now he started implicating also that there was other people involved. So because of that, the rack mate, and I think it was also because someone else, another buddy of his, who was on another part of the squad bay, was also trying to vouch for him, saying like, yes, he did see him there, right? And he was saying like, well, come this morning, I don't know where he is now. I saw him at night. But because the other dude said, no, I know he wasn't there. And now it's this whole cluster F of what's going on. And then it's just a big day. Like, see, that is what I consider the Blue Falcon, right? He just sold out a buddy, which he didn't really have to. And they probably would have just gotten pissed at the one dude. But now they've got multiple people involved.
This is the way it is now.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. So, yeah, obviously, I should have paused it after, too, because I just pretty much said what I was going to say at the end. Tell me some of your Blue Falcon stories. And, yes, I know I got JRTC and JRTC confused. So, two different things. I had to look it up on Google, though. But tell me some stories about, maybe did you receive a coin? Did you ever play Op 4? Did you have fun with it? Did you record it? I would love to see it, because I always like seeing like people play like the dramatic role of Op 4. As far as Blue Falcons, any stories that you can think of, or stories that you've heard, stories that happen to you, around you, anything like that, I always like listening to those kind of stories, just because they're always pretty interesting. Because like a big part of me would also want to see, because a lot of my buddies had some really funny stories too, coming up, going through boot camp and all that, and then SOY, being in the fleet, you know, stories that have happened to them. I'm trying to get some of their input to kind of see within this little compilation I'm trying to do, which I realized writing a script for that to make sure I can get it out very smoothly, it's kind of hard as far as like just getting everything right. Or if I can just kind of like do like a bullet point and then just kind of wing it on the spot so it comes out like, you know, natural, I guess. Also I don't know, I'm still kind of deciding ways of doing that, but let me know down if you have any stories down in the comments below. Love to hear them. In any case though, that's gonna do it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, really does help me a lot. Hit that notification button so you get notified every time I do upload. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like it. Leave me a little comment as to maybe what it was. Until then, I'll see you all in the next video.